Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to change the volume. Alright. Doki Doki tends to get very weird. Okay, I'll figure out where the hell we go after this. Anywho, starting with some more voiceover practice with a script called Grace by Jane Roberts Wood. Greetings and salutations, my friend. Hi. Alright. Spring, 1944. Chapter 1. Grace Gillian kneels before her hyacinth. Give me a second. Grace Gillian kneels before her hyacinth bed, her bare fingers raking the accumulation of decaying leaves from around the plants. She has long since shucked off her gardening gloves. She loves the feel of the earth's awakening, the humid, fertile smell of it. Grace is 38 years old, slender, high cheekbones, generous mouth, dark brown hair, almost auburn with russet highlights around her face. But it is her eyes, soft gray eyes tilting up at the corners, that one remembers. When she reads a poem she loves, or when a student makes a perceptive comment, her face lights up and her eyes become radiantly blue. But she does not know she is beautiful, and although her name is Grace, neither does she think of herself at all. It is in sensible, nearly mundane terms: teacher, gardener, friend. But she is neither sensible nor mundane. And on this day, as she rakes the sodden leaves from the hyacinth bed, she is thinking of John, whom she loves beyond telling. My true, pure love. A love not fueled by desire. This is what she believes. She feels she has long since turned away from desire. The pecan trees, arcing high over her and over her turquoise-colored house, have not yet leafed out, nor has the elm by the front door. But the magnificent live oak is in full leaf, and a single wild plum and a domestic peach in the northwest corner of her garden are dizzily in bloom, infusing the blue air and the yellow grass with the colors of scents of spring. A song from the kitchen radio drifts out into her garden. I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places, Joe Stafford sings tenderly. Since the war, all the songs are heartrending to Grace. Looking closely at the hyacinth buds, she can faintly discern the color. Purple or white, each will become colors of the morning. She, Grace, although not mourning, is deeply sad. Anna, her next-door neighbor, is sick. Sick to death. When she thinks it again, sick to death, the phrase takes on its literal meaning. Anna is sick, and in a day or two she will go to her death. And then John will leave. He has told her this. If something happens to Anna, if, not when, said carefully, I'm going to get into this war. Raising an eyebrow, he smiled. I'll probably end up with a desk job, but if they have me, I'm going. Remembering her eyes fill, and she sits back on her heels with the sleeve of her sweater, wipes the perspiration and tears from her face. It's an interesting read. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's I responded to that. Hopefully that's not a omen of ill fortune. Still trying to do my best here. I only got what I got. A couple other poems. These are ones that Beatrice, you've wanted me to read. You apparently have two versions of the same poem, or some such, called Konstantin, Wait for Me, or Konstantin Simonov, Wait for Me, and I'll Return. cool. It's really neat watching just the little numbers get bigger and bigger. Um, my channel, the average I used to um, hit was about like 2 viewers, which was namely you, strangely, and somebody else, probably me. But now it's routinely getting up into 4 or 5, and I think I hit like 8 the other day as total viewers watching, and not just a spike at one point, but it slowly climbs up and then kind of stays and messes around. It's pretty cool. But I've got 11 subscribers. Alright. Anyway, Konstantin Simonov, wait for me and I'll return. Wait for me and I'll return. Wait with all your might. Wait when yellow foliage rains will tell you to stop. Wait when snows are falling fast. Wait through summer's heat. Wait when yesterdays are past, often are forgotten at all. Others are forgotten at all. Wait when from remote places letters don't arrive. Wait when those with whom you wait doubt if I'm still alive. Wait for me and I'll return. Don't mean well to those who know as if by heart it is time to let me go. Even when my mom and son say that I am lost, even when my friends give up. Sit and count the cost, drink a glass of bitter wine. To the fallen friend, wait, and do not drink with them. Wait until I'll come. Wait for me and I'll return, dodging any fate. With a bit of luck, they'll say, those that would not wait. They will never understand how amidst the war, by your constant waiting, dear, you had saved my soul. Only you and I will know how you got me through. How you knew to wait for me. No one else but you. Translated by M. Rosberg. And then you wanted me to read the same poem in a different translation or some such, I believe. Alright. Hello, Zekido. I don't know how to fix chat. You can check out on some of the other sites. I've got this, Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, a couple others. If you can't watch it on one site, you can watch it on others, or some such, if you need to. Alright. Konstantin Simonov, wait for me. Wait for me, and I'll be back. Should you wait me strong, wait for me when sky is black, and the sun has gone. Wait for me when it's cold, and when it is hot. Wait for me when others don't, 'cause they just forgot. Wait in case you don't receive letters from the front. Wait and I will outlive, if you really want. Wait for me, and I'll be back. Don't you talk to those gluing me a dead man tag. That's a wrong suppose. Let my relatives believe that I am the past. Let my friends forget and give funeral repast. They will drink a glass of wine for the peace of soul. You just wait and don't make time. Do not raise the bowl. Wait for me, and I'll be back. Disregard the fate. In the morning with my bag, should you only wait. They will hardly understand how I could survive. Waiting me from foreign land, you have saved my life. Let them say that it is too late. What you feeling tells, I'll be back, because you wait, like nobody else. Translated by Alexander Artemov. Oh, interesting. Pretty cool. Oh. I approve. 2 thumbs up. Or some such. I am horrible at rating systems. Anyway, but I was talking, it's really cool seeing like different poems. Ones I by default would not ever encounter on my own. And it's really cool seeing new and different ways of saying things. And in that vein, I'll show you guys some of the poems I grew up with. And I actually read through some of these, just picking some of them out. And I think this is where I picked up my rhyming, or my cadence in the poetry. Oh, you sure? You sure you didn't write that one? But yeah, you chose it. You chose those ones to read. pretty good. Anyway, the one uh, poet, a poet that I read was apparently Shel Silverstein, who wrote a lot of funny, silly, inane poems. This one is called 1 Inch Tall by Shel Silverstein. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd ride a worm to school. The teardrop of a crying ant would be your swimming pool. A crumb of cake would be a feast, and last you 7 days at least. A flea would be a frightening beast, if you were 1 inch tall. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd walk beneath the door, and it would take about a month to get down to the store. A bit of fluff would be your bed, you'd swing upon a spider's thread, and wear a thimble on your head, if you were 1 inch tall. You'd surf across the kitchen sink, upon a stick of gum. You couldn't hug your mama, you'd just have to hug her thumb. You'd run from people's feet in fright, to move a pen would take all night. This poem took 14 years to write, 'cause I'm just 1 inch tall. Constantine Beato. Not Constantine, huh? Well, you never know. Constantine could have been person X, or the assailant, or some such. Okay, here's another one. It's Dark in Here by Shel Silverstein. I am writing these poems from inside a lion, and it's rather dark in here, so please excuse the handwriting, which may not be too clear, but this afternoon by the lion's cage, I'm afraid I got too near, and I'm writing these lines from inside a lion, and it's rather dark in here. I think I had some more, but I don't know where they went to. Really? Wait for Me as a Prayer. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the war is really bad on soldiers. It's really rough on them. I'll not get too into it, but yeah, I do know that soldiers picked up their own superstitions, their own little gimmicks, things they would do to stuff. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think one of them I recall hearing recently was soldiers would never light 3 cigarettes in one of the world wars. The first one, the enemy would notice. The second one, the enemies would take aim. The third one, they would fire. So, soldiers lighting cigarettes only did it 2 at a time. 3 was bad luck, or some such. And it's weird when you start thinking about stuff like that. That does happen. Alright. Alright. Here's another one. I'm just picking these ones at random from the voice actor websites. Her One Desire. Astride a stolen horse, encircled by the shackled arms of Broderick Maxwell, a Scottish spy escaping certain death in the Tower of London, Lisbeth's eyes rides to the north, hidden by the darkness. By stealth and cunning, the daughter of the Lord High Executioner has undone her father's cruel work, compelled to save the innocent man with her. There is no turning back, for they are bound as one in his iron chains, consumed by mortal fear, driven by passion, they disappear into the night. A single raven follows them. Is it an omen, or only the first of those who would capture them? They must ride on. If captured, they will face death together, but as they reach the highlands, he will claim her for his own, forever. Alrighty. And one last one, because I had it brought up. Hemingway Bio. As soon as it was safe for the boy to travel, they bore him away to the northern woods. It was a long and complicated journey for a child only 7 weeks old. From the suburban town of Oak Park, Illinois, they took the train to Chicago, a horse cab to the pier on Lake Michigan, the steamer Manitou to Harbor Springs on Little Traverse Bay, the curving tracks of the small railroad to the deposit in Petoskey, and even a small branch line to the foot of the bare lake. And at last, a rowboat to the shorefront property that Dr. Ed had bought from Henry Bacon the summer before. They were going to build a small cottage, and they had come to complete the arrangements. Alright. I think that's a bit enough for that today. Oh, some stuff I'm working on. I'm working at setting up a Fiverr account for voice actors so people can hire me to say random shit. I'm working at it. Apparently you need tiers and different levels and stuff, which is alright. Like, pay me this much to do this, pay me that much to do this. And whatnot. But, the one I'm running into is I don't have a video or a edited small chunk of a video of some of the stuff I have done and performed. Get a feel for what I'm actually providing. I'm working at it, and I was wondering, you guys don't gotta do anything, I'll figure out something at some point. If you guys like remember something that I did particularly well, feel free to let me know, and I'll try and find a good chunk of that to pop up on the side. But Doki Doki Literature Club. We last left off at is your shirt new? No, it's just one that gets buried under the pile. I've had this for a while. It's just I use a shirt, redo laundry, use a shirt, and I just like never get to it. I figured I'd try something else today. Just something a bit different. Is it a dating sim? Tragic love story? A mental health story? Some meta thing about 3D worlds? So confusing. No, 3D still actually can apply. But yeah, this is very confusing. Somewhat. But as noticed by this main menu, we've got a glitch, something happening. And there may have been at some point a friend we may not have known. Or something. And we had like a 5-minute little deal. So I'm just gonna start a new game, get a new redo that bit. Let's see where the hell we go to. Hopefully nothing bad will happen. It's an ordinary school day, like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I met some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average, while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Corey? Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Is it magic? Potentially. But I don't believe in witches. They don't exist. Basically, completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there are any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. And it's really hard for new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know. Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Corey. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? However, sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Corey. You know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. I'm important. I'm an important guy. She said so. Because Monica's always right, or something. I think. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Corey. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with a sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So, I ran into Corey in a classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Corey? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So, I know you really didn't plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Corey, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Alright. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Oh, I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, here might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes start over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club's meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud. And give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president, after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Corey? Hold on. There's still one problem. Eh? What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... Eh? The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Corey. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided. Hey, welcome. I'll join the literature club. You want to join the literature club with us, Sekito? It's not a bad place to be, as far as I can tell. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Corey? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Corey, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? VPN. That stuff is nice to have, but it does get finicky at times. I've never actually used one. I kind of have a natural one with satellite internet. It gives me random IPs every so often. You know, like those ads on the site that say, "Watch out, your data is being tracked." I've had one that said I'm in France. I'm not in France. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting, so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Corey, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. New poem! Yeah! You have unlocked the special poem. Would you like to read it? Yes? Stare at the dot to reveal a special message. I love you. Okay.
There's just the two of them on a page.
All right. All right. And we're continuing with new poem. Boop, melody, pink, empty. Memories, swimsuit, question, charm, twirl, uncontrollable. Mike, hello, welcome. You're just in time to see me pick 20 random words from a list and potentially impress some girls and send others to their doom. Maybe. I'm just thinking, because I chose the word boop, somebody went to their doom or something. Alright, you know what? Just because of that, I will pick boop. Lipstick, infinite, extreme, chocolate, breeze, misfortune, blanket, cheer, skipping, tears. Cheer. Color, fluffy, summer, lollipop, play, death, vertigo, sadness, rain cloud, tenacious. So fluffy. Laugh, eternity, cheeks, lust, destiny, doki doki, precious, hair, wonderful, childhood. So doki doki. Shopping, clumsy, jump, forgive, bed, vacation, rose, dark, email, ribbon, jump. Melancholy, anger, embrace, intellectual, disoriented, kiss, sticky, fireworks, incapable, Valentine. Disoriented. Landscape, defeat, captive, scars, sunny, family, anime, games, promise, candy, family. It's Doki Doki Literature Royale. Now I'm picturing this a whole bunch of guys in army gear heavily running around while reciting poetry at each other, and like some people falling over. Thank you for that wonderfully stupid image. The Doki Doki poem. Boop boop doki 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 boop boop. Boop boop doki 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 boop boop. Vibrant, spinning, existence, vivacious, fear, sing, treasure, graveyard, secretive, awesome. Waterfall, meager, smile, universe, kitty, vitality, raindrops, unrestrained, philosophy, bouncy. Raindrops. Variance, uncanny, marshmallow, dance, clouds, heart, adventure, sugar, sparkle, marriage. clouds. Happiness, infallible, special, skirt, kawaii, tragedy, hope, effulgent, fireflies, papa. Skirt. Puppy, aura, peace, giggle, unrequited, determination, holiday, excitement, joy, hop. Determination. Contamination, friends, electricity, vivid, pain, explode, parfait, love, rainbow, playground. Friends. Atone, strawberry, afterimage, pleasure, bliss, horror, dazzle, hurt, fester, lucky. Pleasure? Daydream, whistle, calm, massacre, mouse, feather, depression, portrait, agonizing, sweet. Portrait? Frightening, grief, cage, amazing, peaceful, music, broken, suicide, essence, comfort. Suicide. Lazy, imagination, sensation, pure, climax, headphones, journey, romance, fickle, heaven sent. Sensation. Flee, fantasy, nightgown, milk, ambient, dream, wrath, bunny, unending, together. Bunny. Anxiety, inferno, warm, covet, analysis, beauty, sunset, ocean, poof, insight. We're going with poof. Heartbeat, desire, jumpy, loud, disarray, pout, flying, extraordinary, despise, nature. Nature. Alrighty then. Boop, cheer, fluffy, doki doki, jump, disoriented, family, awesome, raindrops, clouds, skirt, determination, friends, pleasure, portrait, suicide, sensations, bunny, poof, nature. Alrighty then. Some of those will be hard to put together. Boop, boop, suicide, doki doki. Yeah. Pointy pen or super sharp? Poem battle? Kind of. The way this game works, you choose words that some of the girls like, and it determines the route you get. And I'm going completely blind. I have no idea what my actions are going to be doing, other than a guess. Boop, Fluffy, and Bunny go very well together. Yes, they do. But there's a few bigger ones that I picked that don't. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Alright. I'll work on it. You guys will see tomorrow. Give me a second. If you look, right about in the curve of Monica's hair is a picture in the background with something we've seen before. Yeah, that's I noticed that. There's probably a reason it's there because of my choice of wording. Yay. This game is weird. Hi again, Corey. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Corey. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. He already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out, or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki certainly does have a big mouth for someone who keeps a full manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm noticing that the room is tilted. I'm sorry, Corey. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might be interested in picking up a book to read? Well, I can't really say no either way. Like I said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. Hold the floor! That's the table. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. But how is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Mon to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh. I just clicked on the picture back there, and it wiped the screen, I guess? Ugh. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her, in case she needs a hand. Someone else is just gonna mess it up. Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know, anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books. Having internet issues. Think we're back? Yeah, it's a few spikes on my end. I think we're back. Here, I'll bring up the history for you guys. Actually, curious. Look. Internet problems. This is why I hate satellite. Alright. Well, let's see where we go. Welcome to my internet, where nothing is guaranteed, and whatever you try to do takes a really long time to do. Anyway, freaking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. You read manga, right? Yeah, sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know, anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. It's an irritating sight. What's more irritating is watching your internet cut out on a stream. But yeah. I'm working at getting a better one, but I don't really have any options at the moment. I've discussed that enough, but yeah, it's I did our public library and our school library. They have manga collections there as well. However, they have books 3 through 18. Do you realize how infuriating it is to see an entire collection except for the first 2? Or like 1, 2 perpetually gone. That was infuriating for me. Satellite internet sucks, man. Bear with me. Be right back-ish. In the meantime, have a fair look at these lovely ladies over here. few more times, huh? Reconnection success. You know what? Gonna stop the stream, try and reboot. Give me. So yeah, most of the settings I was working with, I have the option to change, are set to what works. So I don't know what the deal is, other than fickleness. And I'll curse the internet as much as I want. It'll be what it is. Anywho, let's try. So let's do that, I guess. I'm running on bare minimum settings with nothing extraneous. The only other explanation I can have is other people are using the internet and stopping me, or it's being finicky and out of my control. Anywho, I know that feel. I live that feel. Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way. Alright. Maybe it's Monica messing us all up. Curse you, Monica. Maybe. I don't know. That's the one I shouldn't say. I take that one back. For now. I don't know about the future, but for now, I take that one back. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. I wouldn't put it past Japan, they make stuff like that. And it's just so weird. It like works for months without issues. Then suddenly, everything in a day. Japanese day for you, huh? Alright. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Corey. Consider this a... Don't judge a book. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm gonna show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly moe. Don't just stand there. But Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall, beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Eh? Why is that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that. It'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I wouldn't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kinda grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? Hmm? Hmm? You don't? That's not... Well, I would really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. Ugh, I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. It is difficult, and also surprisingly easy. Yeah, the thing is, just keep looking around and do what you enjoy doing. You'll eventually find people who also enjoy doing that. Like you guys, here on this channel. It's like, we found each other. Somehow, some way, we just ended up being together. And that's how you make friends. Don't try and force other people who aren't going to do the things you want them to do. Just make it things flow naturally. More often than not, anyway. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Hmm? Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monix is kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So... Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Time passes. Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her. It looks like she started to fall asleep. Hey, Natsuki. Yeah? Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight into me. Hey! Natsuki's direction. Fully screwed up. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper. I told you not to give... Oof. She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it into her mouth. Don't worry, Corey. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share poems now? It's a horror game where they try to scare you with game bugs and missing saves. The internet issues are probably a part of the game as well. Maybe. Potentially. That's gonna suck. I'm gonna question if it's my internet to the game or what now. Alright. Let's go with Yuri. Miri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Yuri stares at the poem. No, they're not. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah? It is? Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in the new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing, even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Give me a second here. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
Internet, you suck.
I think she knows. That poem alludes to... That poem can be applied to what's happening in the game. Maybe. Crazy crackpot theory go. Anyway. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Corey. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their works. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. She's counting on me. Let's go with Natsuki. Well, have you explained to him the son of a beach part that might influence it somewhat? Or the crazy scientist? I've got recordings I did on Twitch, not YouTube at the time. Maybe I'll try and upload that. Do I have it? Broadcasting is enabled? Okay. I had a little pop-up. Initial D. I've heard that name, can't remember at all what it is. Anyway, here is Natsuki. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Oh. Maybe it's... Give me a second. That might be something here. That might be it. Might be Steam freaking everything out. Let's see if that fixes it for the next half hour. My condolences, yeah. Saying it is pretty cool. I should probably actually go back and actually finish the true ending at some point for you guys. But I currently have a backlog a mile long. We'll get to it maybe. It also took quite some time, yeah. It did, but we were also going like once a week at the time, so made it a bit longer. Anywho. Stream offline. I think we're back. Alright. Internet problems. It's always really weird random things that do it. Anywho, I'll try and finish off this story. This has been a weird day. Not a good omen. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when